WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany. Today I'm in Frankfurt, InterWhisky 2018, together with
David Cover
from
Penderyn Distillery.
Excellent. So we're in Wales.
Wales, yeah.
All right. Tell me a little bit. Why is whiskey also made in Wales and not just Scotland?
Well, it was something that came about in the early 2000s, really. Just a few local people that got together and wanted to start making some whiskey. And there actually happened to be a whiskey still that was in Wales already, just sitting in a warehouse.
A little bit kind of exclusive, right?
Yeah.
Faraday?
Yeah, definitely. A Faraday Still. It's something unique, I think, to Welsh whiskey, to our whiskey. And I think that really is the thing that creates the style for Penderyn. So the fact that was already in Wales and happened to be there, that was really important for us. So.
All right, not everyone understands what a Faraday still is. Could you explain it so that a normal person understands?
Can I use my diagram? It's easier with the diagram.
I'm sure it is. Go for your diagram. Go up, hold it up there. Maybe you can actually see it.
So this is Faraday Still. And there's not really anything like this in the world other than us. And so this has columns to the still that purify the alcohol really well just from the one distillation. And that gives us a spirit that's over 90% alcohol. And so that's very, very strong for whiskey, but it gives us a very light, very delicate character, I think, to those whiskies as well. Yeah.
So it's not a column still.
It is a still with columns, but yeah, it's not a continuous still like maybe you would find in Scotland or some places in Germany.
Or bourbon in America.
Yeah, exactly. It's something different again. It's more like an extended Lowman still.
Very good. If we understand Lowman, you understand that almost. Exactly. Very, very good. Now let's go to the core range. Yeah. You have something, I think, a myth and so on, or what do you want to talk about first of all?
We have these whiskies with the dragons on the label, the Red Dragon range. So there are three whiskies in this range: Legend, Celt, and the Myth. And these whiskies tend to be lower strength. They're 41% alcohol, and that tends to make them very light, very smooth whiskies, very soft, I would say. So a good place to start. And tends to be with all of our different whiskies. They start in bourbon barrels, and then we finish the whiskey in Madeira casks or peated barrels or recharred barrels to give them some different flavors.
And what's the difference between the three? Is there a difference? I mean, the color is very, very different.
Yeah, so that tends to be the difference is that we're using these different finishes, these different barrels to mature the whiskies. Exactly.
Let's move up the range a little bit, if we may. All right, so you have some even better looking bottles here.
Yes, exactly. So this is the new style of bottle for us. So this is brand new for this year.
Okay.
And the idea for the original idea really for the whiskies was that they were like a new type of Welsh gold. So we have this gold symbol that goes across the bottle that you can see there.
And also across your shirt as well.
Yes, exactly. And so this is the logo of Penderyn, and the idea is that the whiskey is like a new type of Welsh gold because it's rare and precious and valuable, all of these things, of course. So these whiskies are at 46%. A little bit higher strength, and again we use different barrels, different finishes to give the whiskey some different flavors. The Madeira is this one. This is like the classic version of the whiskey, the original. And then you have sherry, port barrels, peated barrels. Again, some different flavors to give something interesting, something different.
All right, very good. And there's some icons of Wales. If I'm correctly informed, a total of 50. Do you really want to bankrupt every collector out there in the world?
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, 50 was a very ambitious number, perhaps, for a sort of collector's series, but we felt like there was room there to really explore a lot of the culture of Wales, the history of Wales, famous people, and there's just so much scope there for what we want to do. So that's what we felt was the best thing, was to go all out and do something that was really interesting. So maybe not everyone will be able to collect all 50. Hopefully you can, but it's been a while now, I think, since the last version, which is this one, the Bryn Terfel, which is
actually won European Whiskey of the World as well, I think.
Exactly, in Jim Murray's Whiskey Bible, exactly 96.5 points out of 100, which is a pretty high score. So he really liked this whiskey, and I think it's fantastic as well. But we haven't seen another edition, another version since then. So what we're hopefully doing is releasing 2 more early next year.
Very good. And there's some single cask versions out there as well. Would you mind showing or mentioning 1 or 2 of those? I like the design as well.
So these whiskies these single cask, normally cask strength whiskies. They have a little bit of a different bottle design with the stencil, Penderyn stencil on the front. And we have done some exclusive single casks for Germany this year, and for a few other countries as well. Just specialized selections of whiskies for those markets, and I think those have been really successful. This one in particular is a bourbon cask that we've done recently or this year from 2006, so this is actually the second oldest Penderyn that's ever been released. So it's quite a special one. We've done port casks, Madeira casks as well, so because these whiskies are cask strength or they're special selections, they tend to be really lovely flavors, really well balanced, and something different from the core range, a bit more intense perhaps, and always interesting to try.
And what can we expect in the future then? What else is going to happen that you can mention?
Well, as I said, there'll be some new whiskies early next year, I think.
You mentioned the two icons of whiskey already.
Exactly.
Icons of Wales, excuse me.
Exactly, and then I think in the next few years, we're actually looking at building some new distilleries. So we have
distilleries,
two new distilleries. So there's a site in Swansea that we're having a look at the moment, which of course is in South Wales on the south coast, and there's another site in North Wales we're having a look at as well. So that will be 3 Penderyn distilleries, hopefully in the next couple of years, the next 5-6 years. I think it will really solidify kind of Welsh whiskey on the map, and Welsh whiskey will start becoming a bit more of a business, a bit more of a thing, and hopefully at some point there'll be a legislation, some kind of law that's passed as well, defining Welsh whiskey, because we don't really have that at the moment, but Scotch whiskies, Irish whiskies do, and I think that's something that's really important for putting Welsh whiskey on the map as well. So.
Wow, looking forward to that. The future of Walsh whiskey here. WhiskyJason, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American, together with
David from Penderyn.
Thank you very much, sir. All the best.
To you as well. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.